Well, to get a better insight on US-South Korea relations and what it all means, what's really at stake today, we can speak now to Professor of Political Science at Temple University, Japan, Dr. James Brown. Thanks for joining us and your time here at France 24. Can I start simply by asking you, what do you think is most important for both sides at this meeting? What do you think each side might want?
Well, for the Korean side, it's very simple, really. It's first and foremost to avoid disaster. That any new leader going to meet Trump will have foremost in their mind the risk of being ambushed with the infamous meeting between Trump and Zelensky in the White House, followed up by that meeting between Trump and South Africa's Ramaphosa. That's the real risk. So if Lee comes out of this with no concrete results, but just having built, a good personal relationship with Trump, well, that's a big achievement. From the US side, the main point of focus will be both security and then also the economic relationship. And on the economic side of things, Trump will be looking for commitments when it comes to South Korean investment in the United States.
And when it comes to security, I mean, there's a lot of focus from a number of people this morning on that. I mean, how vital is the US to South Korea's security? What's at risk?
Yeah, it's absolutely vital. South Korea has long been in a very insecure position, of course, with North Korea just to the north of it, but then also China as well. So those nearly 30,000 US troops within the country are absolutely vital. The problem, of course, is that Trump feels that South Korea free rides. South Korea doesn't make enough of a financial contribution towards the cost of those troops. And also, I think some within the Trump movement believe that South Korea has too close a relationship with China. So those are some of the issues that could be points of friction.
One wonders, though, South Korea, is it not also useful, if you like, to the United States in that region? I mean, could you see the United States been interested in withdrawing its troops or changing its security situation there?
Well, this is one of the things which is so frustrating, because it seems so abundantly clear that it's massively in the US's interest to maintain those troops there. This is not the case that the US is doing some massive favor to South Korea. The US really benefits from having that foothold within the region, helping the United States to truly be a power within this vital economic region. But that's not how some within the Trump movement see it. Instead, they just believe that those troops are serving the interests of the South Koreans. So, from my point of view, this is mutually beneficial, but that's not how some in Trump's movement see it.
And how do you see then this delegation that was sent to China all the while Lee is on his way to the United States? That can't be a coincidence. Is, Lee trying to play his relationship with China off to use that as a negotiating tactic with Trump? And how might that work out?
Yeah, so what this really usefully highlights is the strategic dilemma that South Korea has, which is that it has economic dependence on China, but security dependence on the United States. And those things are very much in tension. So if, in a sense, he's too successful with Trump and really moves very close to the United States, if that implies criticism of China, then that damages the economic side of things. So sending that delegation will be part of a process of reassuring Beijing that while South Korea wants to maintain its relationship with the United States, it doesn't want that to come at the expense of its economic ties with China.
Oh, really, yeah, a hard tightrope to walk, it sounds there. But meanwhile, I remember during Donald Trump's first term in office, he really wanted to play a big role in the relationships with North Korea as well and see things move there. Do you think that might come up for discussion?
Yeah, and this is a point of commonality that President Lee's predecessor, President Myung, was much more skeptical of engagement with North Korea, very hawkish on that issue. However, for President Lee and others within his Democratic Party, they're much more in favor of engagement. And we all remember that Trump, when he was previously in the White House, launched this extraordinary engagement with North Korea's Kim Jong-un. So this is something where they might find some common ground.
Okay, Professor of Political Science at Temple University in Japan, Dr. James Brown, thanks very much indeed for your insight on it all. Very much appreciated.